Well, there are many answers, and it may not be the best question, but we do know that CMHC has already bailed out the banks by buying mortgages, insured mortgages, $50 billion. And one of the things that is coming down is another $75 billion, so they will have bailed out the banks to a total of $125 billion. This week we're hearing the banks are making money, but they're not lending money. $50 billion worth of corporate debt is coming due this year, and our Canadian banks are not lending money. The Leader of the government in the Senate said so on Tuesday this week in question period. The Bank of Canada is having to step up to the plate. They are lending now to non-banks, and they're taking corporate debt, they say, riskier collateral, in order to do so. My point is this: there are some big issues, very important issues, and they need our closest attention. So I have a suggestion. We have a lot of talent in this room. There are a lot of people who know, for example, the banking industry like the backs of their hands. We should not be sitting on our hands in this chamber. We should, now that we're fully up to strength, we should turn ourselves into the Economic Recovery Senate. We could, in effect, continue the all-party approach to shaping this stimulus package so that it delivers what all Canadians, and not just a majority of Canadians, but what all Canadians need. One of the things we could do is hive off in Budget 2009 those elements which are essential to start getting the money out the door to help Canada, to help Canadians get the ball rolling. That a kind of approach, if we hived that off and got it through this chamber as soon as we could, would be helping the government meet one of its own goals for Budget 2009, and that is being targeted. We could target the elements in Budget 2009 that are part of the stimulus package and get it rolling. Then, on the other hand, we could hive off all the other parts, all the other issues, many important issues, and give them to all our committees. For example, the Navigable Waters Act. Give it to Energy and Environment to report back on. The Competition Act, which I think Senator Murray was particularly interested in. The one I'm particularly interested in, the National Securities Commission. Give it to the Banking Committee. Give the treatment of NSERC and other granting councils and education grants to social affairs, science and technology. Let's do a blitz. We could then hear a whole bunch of Canadians come and talk to us. We could hear and address a whole array of issues, a broad array of issues, and in relatively short time we could come back and report on those issues which are not central to the stimulus package, but still we would be honoring the government's other targets, which are being timely and transparent. But I would say that we don't have to stop there. And as my blogster said on my blog last night, which I found heartwarming to some degree, but rather poignant in another, having said that he had no time to write to his MP or even an opposition leader, he said, "Should we start writing to our senators?" Or she said, "Should we start writing to our senators?" It certainly helped when it was uncovered that a censorship bill had been snuck into a housekeeping omnibus taxation bill, last session's Bill C-10. So I believe that we, as an Economic Recovery Senate, could go further than just our hearings. President Obama is doing it, and we can too. We could reach out to all Canadians to help us monitor this stimulus package. We could get them to help us monitor it in real time with real information about whether the stimulus is indeed helping Canadians and Canadian businesses. We could get that in a timely fashion, and boy, would that be transparent. The PBO, the Parliamentary Budget Officer, this morning released a report, a discussion draft, looking for comments from parliamentarians, the government, civil service, and other Canadians. He has even given us the framework for this monitoring report. All we need now is to be a little innovative and a little collaborative in reaching out to Canadians. So I want to tell you that I've been in discussions with a number of Canadians across Canada already. And there is some excitement building about the possibility of participating in real-time monitoring of our stimulus package in the same way that Barack Obama has invited Americans to participate. And I will say this, and then I will conclude. If you senators would all like to join us in this stimulus watch or this citizens' evaluation of Canada's budget 2009, the senators in this room could make this institution one of the best ever at helping Canadians rise above and out of this recession as soon as possible. Thank you.